The lads and I were gathered around his stool like stars around the half moon. His stories were always the longest. Mostly because each sentence was followed by a swirl and swallow of Guinness, he described it as the worst thing he ever tasted. He said it was the duty of every red blood, red beard Irishman. His stories were always the longest, but always the best. They're always about the same stranger, the same soldier, the same red beard, the same tattoo on his wrist where I'd hid his lover's name, the same war. See, Redbeard Paddy never really believed in God, but it didn't take long for him to learn the language of the enemy. It didn't take long for that to convince him that he deserved death just as much as they did the first time he got shot. It was a graze across his wrist, like something was trying to tell him, we know where your heart lives. Like something was trying to tell him, there is no love in war. That death and blood, a price and punishment, but Paddy fought for love. For love of country, for love of family, for love of the girl on his wrist that bullets couldn't kill. For what is blood if not the price of love? And what is death if not the punishment for apologetic sinners? For God so loved the world that he killed himself. The war, as patient as his love, but waiting long into the night, the days, as many as the number of fatherless homes, each bullet hole, just something else for bullet girl to feel her touch was soft and deep and complete. Paddy prayed in the language of the enemy the day he heard the war was over. He cried in the language of God the day he heard he had lost her, always half expecting it. Something for his sins, a bandage for his wrist that heals and covers all at once. My father's death was no price for sin, my pain was no punishment. I sat there, listening to the story about the price of sin and the punishment of war, wondering, what was my sin? Why do I always have to look up at a half moon and wonder, where are the stars gone? If death is the price of love, then what is the price of life? Tell me and I'll pay it. Maybe Paddy and I aren't too different after all. Maybe we both love a bit too deep and cry a bit too God. But losing her will always be his price. And loving you will always be my sin.